शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह
All right. ಏನು ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay, so we will read Sambandha Bhaashyam of mantra number 6. यथा विधि विषये
यथा विधि विषये
कर्त्रादि अनेक कारक उपसंहारद्वारेण वाक्यार्थ ज्ञानकालात् अन्यत्र अनुष्ठेयः अर्थः अस्ति। अग्निहोत्रादिलक्षणः न तथा इह परविद्या विषये वाक्यार्थ ज्ञान समकाले एव तु पर्यवसितः भवति। केवल शब्द प्रकाशितार्थ ज्ञानमात्र निष्ठा व्यतिरिक्त अभावात् तस्मात् इह परां विद्यां सविशेषणेन अक्षरेण विशिनष्टि यत्तददृश्यम् इत्यादिना वक्ष्यमाणं बुद्धौ संहृत्य सिद्धवत् परामृश्यते यत् तद् इति। Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
So we completed studying this Bhaashyam. Because of the importance of this mantra and what was said by Bhashyakara, we are just spending a few minutes to review what happened. So we saw that Dve Vidya Veditavya, and then Para Vidya and Apara Vidya. Very important thing to remember. And we already know the difference when we talked about the introduction to the Upanishad. Why are we studying Bhagavad Gita? Why are we studying Upanishad? This Purusharthas we have looked at. Dharmartha Kama Mokshaha. Purusharthaha. So Dharma, Artha and Kama seem to govern our lives throughout, almost throughout. But at some point, we have to look into what moksha is. So we became aware that Dharma, Artha and Kama is one category and moksha is a different category. And what is it about moksha that makes it different than Dharma, Artha and Kama? If we ask, we should be able to express it. Somebody might say, yeah, moksha is different because moksha is going to Swarga, heaven. Okay. If somebody says that, then we will put that kind of going to heaven moksha in the category of Dharmartha Kama only. Okay. Why? Because that moksha going is going. Going is karma phalam. Karma phalam is a result of karma. Karma is within the category of Dharma, Artha and Kama. So we are welcome to go to heaven and have some good time there. A long time. Good time which won't stop just like that. It'll be a long vacation. Long vacation from what? If you ask, Shine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. Good. So when that is understood, Krishna has said that in the Bhagavad Gita, then we talk about moksha as this Swarga also is apraptasya praptihi. You are talking about apraptasya praptihi means what? Gaining something that is not already gained. Which is what Artha which is what Artha is all about. Kama is also entertainment also. Pleasure is also gaining what is not gained. I need to have some fun, therefore I have some fun. I have to expend some effort to have fun. So everything is expense of effort. And so that kind of moksha also will come in this category of dharma, artha and kama. Okay. Then what are you talking? Then what is left if you say that is the catch? That is the brilliant, the $1 million puzzle of Advaita Vedanta is apraptasya praptihi is there. There is something called praptasya praptihi. Gaining what has already been gained. How can you gain what is already gained? That is what we are also asking. You can't gain what is already there with you. What is already you can't gain at all. But only thing is ignorance can separate me from what is already gained. Okay? This is the idea. This is so important. And that is the moksha comes in the category of praptasya praptihi. Everything else falls in the category of apraptasya praptihi. Gaining of what is not yet accomplished, gaining of what is accomplished. Okay, this has to be kept in mind. Another way to Shastra will say is what? All this dharmartha kama will be in the category of sadhya vishaya. They are all sadhya vishayas. They are accomplishable. Sadhya means what? What you can accomplish. What about this moksha we are talking about? It's called siddha vishaya. Siddha vishaya means that what is already accomplished. I just don't know that I accomplished. Okay? So that is how you separate these things completely. Once you separate it, then we can see that karma produces karma palam, which is anityam. Anityam. And so, and that anitya, this pursuit of karma and karma palam is therefore called samsaraha. It's called preyas. Preyas. We never name our children as preyas. We always name them as what? Shreyas. Okay, why? Because Shreyas is what everybody is looking for, even through prayers. All right. And that is also called pravrittihi. Pravritti margaha, nivritti margaha. All these are important things. You just have to, those words I'm repeating because some of you are new to this. And even if we are not new, it's good to just remind ourselves. Okay. So, pravrittihi, nivrittihi. Our daughters are named nivrittihi. Rarely pravrittihi. Unless they know the Shastram, they will never call daughters as pravritti. But not to worry, we will not get caught up in how I wish I had named my daughter like this. No, we should not think. That is separate. This here we are trying to understand what is what. Okay. And then, thanks to this Upanishad, is introducing another word. What is it? Aparavidya. Paravidya. Aparavidya means knowledge of things. Knowledge of things which have to be executed. Knowledge of making Mysore Pak is of no use, neither to the guy who knows Mysore Pak, neither to the guy who does not know how to make Mysore Pak, does not want to know Mysore Pak, but wants to taste Mysore Pak. Okay, this is all Aparavidya category. And that is where all this practice, theory practice comes into place. Because it's theory, you're talking theory. And here, what about Advaita Vedanta? Are we talking theory if you say, hey, come on, go back to your guy who was searching the glasses. Hey, there is no theory here. Knowledge is liberation. Knowledge is getting what you want. Okay, knowledge is the goal. Beyond knowledge, there is nothing. I think this we understand very well, and which is what he says as an introduction to the next mantra. As the next mantra, what is he saying? Look at that. Yatha vidhi vishaye. So, vidhi vishaye means in this karma vishaye, karma kanda vishaye, dharma artha kama vishaye. That is all vidhi. Vidhi means do's and don'ts. This is how things must be done. It's better to do it this way than that way. All those things will come under vidhi. So in vidhi vishaya, knowledge is not important. Knowledge is not final. Knowledge has to follow up with karma. Anushtayaha arthaha asti. Anushtayaha means to be executed. The knowledge has to be put in practice. And therefore, knowing how to make Mysore Pak will not produce a result. When will the result come? It's really up to you only. Up to you only. And so, and the guy who's experiencing the result, we don't know if he's going to run away or not. Nothing is known. And we will have to wait and see. Wait and see. Did you really make sure the Mysore Pak is flowing nicely like a stream? It has to be like a thread. It has to flow down. All these things you have to know. And so much is there. And so that's what he's saying here. But then he's saying, Paravidya Vishaye, that's not like that. Paravidya Vishaye, Jnana, he says, Vakyartha Jnana Samakale Eva. The minute you know it, you are liberated. That's it. Moksha is gained. There is no waiting period between knowledge and moksha. No waiting period. Sometimes there are waiting period, You see, suppose you want to transfer some money to the ashram. You put the ashram's name in your bank account. You add the what do you call that? So payee. You have to add the payee, and then after that it says after half an hour you can transfer money.
Yes, correct.
After half an hour. What is this half an hour? Somewhere God has come and said you should wait for half an hour or something like that, or what is this? Some rules they have. There's a prevention of abuse, this, that, whatever. Something must be there. And then transferring money, also some limits are there before they increase the limit. Whatever. There are all these rules. So waiting period is not there. That's what he's saying. Jnana kala samakale eva. And he's talking about kevala shabda prakashitartha jnana matra nishtha. Kevala Shabda Prakashitartha. Hey, if you know the meaning of the words, then you got it. The Kuchu had to be told Bhavan Upanetri. The guy who's searching for his glasses had to be told what? Bhavan Upanetri. Upanetram means glasses. Upanetri means one who has the glasses. It's called Upanetri. Bhavan Upanetri. What? Bhavan Upanetri. You have to know Sanskrit to understand this sentence. Otherwise, change the language. Nothing wrong. You are the guy who already has the glasses. Really? Yeah, really. Just lift your hand up and touch your head. That's it. Over. Game is over at that point. And so, like that, that is how he's concluding as well as introducing the next shloka. Vakshamanam buddhau samhritya siddhavat paramrishyate yattad iti. He's introducing it by summarizing the previous. He's saying aksharena vishinashti. Okay, that aksharam brahma, it becomes a topic, And so, what is that aksharam brahma, if you ask? Then vishinashti, he describes aksharam by a few words. That is what Shankaracharya said and introduced the next mantra. Okay? So look at how important it is. We can study more and more mantras, but the important parts we have to Siddha Vishaya, Paravidya, okay, then Karma Phalam. This moksha is not Karma Phalam. All these things, therefore it makes it Nityam, and Karma Phalam is always Anityam. All these things we just have to keep these few points in the tip of our fingers, the fingertips. All right, let's chant the next mantra, number 6. Rameshji. Yattadadreshyam
Yattadadreshyam
agrahyam
Agrahyam
agotram
agotram
avarnam
avarnam
achakshushrotram
achakshusrostram
tadapanipadam
tatapanipadam
nityam vibhum
nityam vibhum
sarvagatam susukshmam
sarvagatam susuksham
tadavyayam
tadavyayam
yadbhutayonim
yadbhutayonim
paripashyanti dhiraha.
paripashyanti dhiraha.
Yeah. So another good mantra to chant and memorize. Yattadadreshyamagrahyamagotramavarnam achakshushrotram tadapanipadam yad vibhum nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yadbhutayonim paripashyanti dhiraha. Like that you keep repeating until it becomes natural to you. These are all things to some good mantras that we quote periodically. Like that anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. Like that we remember these mantras. So two halves are there in this mantra. In fact, the entire all words are describing this aksharam Brahma. How should I begin to understand Brahma? Like that. Many words are there. Adresham, Agrahyam, Agotram, etc. We will see all that. Basically, Brahman, this is where the word absolute can be brought in. Everything that I know about this Dharmartha Kama is relative. Relative. Relative means what? Even if you talk about color, black and white, okay, color. The color black cannot be understood without understanding white. The white has to be there. Only then black makes sense. Without white color, black is not properly understandable. Empty, if I say, this emptiness idea is dependent on fullness idea. They are both complementary. They are not independent. There is no fullness unless there is emptiness. Okay, this is very important. That's why Nachiketa is asking Anyatra Dharma, Anyatra Dharma. Dharma means adharma. Both will go together. If both go together, then one is dependent on the other. The other is dependent on this one. Okay, and so this dependency is always there. That which is independent of anything, that which exists independently, depending on nothing, that is called Brahman. Those ideas will come here. So that absolute, this is where the word absolute can be used. And whose existence is guaranteed. Guaranteed is also not a good word, because we also have guarantees on many things. They give 1 year guarantee and all these things. So, not that kind of guarantee. It is self existing, therefore, it is absolute. And then, the last part of the second half is saying Paripashyanti Dhiraha. Those who know Brahma in this manner. Adreshyam means not perceptible. Okay, agrahyam, not graspable by our karmendriyani, by hands, legs, etc. Not possible. And so that kind of Brahma, one who understands in this manner, okay, they are called dhiraha. Wise people gain this knowledge. This is the knowledge they gain of Brahman. That is what is being said in this mantra. Which means what? The one who knows Brahman in this manner knows Aksharam Brahma, and that person can be said to know Paravidya. This is Paravidya. Like that, we should infer from this mantra. All right. So every word will be called as a Lakshanam in Sanskrit. Definition is called Lakshanam. And so each word is important for us. It serves as a defining word. So we will look at the Bhaashyam now to understand the meaning of the words. Adreshyam.
You have to
Yeah.
unmute yourself, please.
Sorry.
Adreshyam.
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 Sarvesham.
Sarvesham.
Buddhindriyanam.
Buddhindriyam.
Agamyam.
Agamyam.
Iti etat.
Iti etad.
Drishehe.
Drishehe.
Bahih pravrittasya.
Bahyapravrityatya.
Panchendriya.
Panchendriya.
Dwarakatvat.
Dvaratatvat.
Yeah. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya is explaining to us the meaning of the word Adreshyam. He's saying Adreshyam means Adrishyam. Adrishyam. Is indicating this word Adreshyam is Chandasa Prayoga. Means it's a Vedic usage. It is not quote unquote grammatically correct. Grammatical usage is what we use in our spoken language and written language, and that word should be Adrishyam. That's what he said. So we won't say Adreshyam is grammatically wrong. We will say it is Chandasam. It is Vedic usage. And we understand when the word is there, we understand how these words are to be understood. So he's saying Adrishyam. Adrishyam. Shankara doesn't have to explain what Adrishyam is. Still, he is telling us what it is. Means Drishyam means that which is perceptible, which can be seen with the naked eye. With the eye, naked eye also I don't have to say. Even the eyes that are backed up by glasses and microscopes and telescopes and all that can be seen. So that is the meaning of drishyam. Adrishyam means, sorry, opposite of that, that which cannot be seen. All right. Now Shankara is stretching. He's saying, Sarvesham buddhindriyanam agamyam ityetat. All right. Adrishyam, he's saying agamyam. Gamyam. Gam means to go. Gam is to go. Kachati, etc. In Sanskrit we have. You have to go to a temple. So, aham mandiram gachami. Like that it comes. So that gam is to go. So here, gamyam. Gamyam is that which is reachable. That which is reachable. That which is accessible. That to which one can go to. That is called gamyam. Gamyam. Agamyam is opposite of that. Agamyam means inaccessible. Not, I mean, maybe not approachable. Okay, like that he said. Okay, inaccessible by what? Then he says, Sarvesham buddhindriyana. Inaccessible to this buddhindriya. Buddhindriya is an alternate word for jnanendriyam. Jnanendriyam, you already know what it is. It is called sense organs. Sense organ, the technical word used in the Shastram is called not just indriya. Indriyam is organ. Jnanendriyam is sense organ. Jnana, because they produce knowledge. They are the only organs in the body that have the capacity to produce knowledge. Produce knowledge means what? They are part of the game. They are part of the apparatus that gives us data. Therefore, they are called Jnanendriyani. All right. So, Buddhindriyani is equal to Jnanendriyani. Sarvesha, all of all. This Aksharam Brahma is inaccessible by all sense organs, inaccessible to all sense organs. Okay. But real meaning of Adreshyam is Adrishyam, which is not accessible to the eyes only. Eyes. But he is saying you have to include all sense organs. Eyes is just an upalakshanam. Just an upalakshanam means it is indicating. If I say one thing, you have to bring in all the things. Sometimes we have to do that. Somebody looks at the boy and says, no, you can't climb Mount Everest. You can't climb Mount Everest means it means all people like you, all children, in fact, all men also, all women also, everything included. That is what he means by saying you can't climb. Not this one particular boy, Vikram, cannot climb Mount Everest. It is everybody. And it takes a lot to climb a mountain. And so you can't climb Mount Everest means everybody. Nobody can climb Mount Everest unless some special training is there and special help is there, etc. You just can't climb. So like that he's saying here, this Brahman is not accessible to any of the sense organs. Now, Shankara is giving a reason. He's giving a reason why I said what I said. Okay. Why do I go from not perceptible by the eyes to not perceptible by all sense organs? Why am I saying it? So he's saying, Drishehe, Bahif Pravrittasya Panchendriya Dvarakat. Okay. So now he's using an approach which is a little different. He says, look, this word drish, you think it means eyes, but there is a word called drishi. Drishi means consciousness. Drishi means consciousness. It is just the awareness, Chaitanyam is there. And you know what? You know what? You know how the sense organs operate? You are telling me, your science is telling me that this light reflects on all these objects and then they come towards the eyes and then they strike the eyes, and then they go through the eyeball and whatever the pupil, and then it goes back in the retina, and then an image is formed, etc. That's all fine. That's all fine. I'm not saying it is wrong, but I'll tell you my approach. And a light can fall in the retina, but you may still not be able to see. The person may not be able to see at all because the person is just staring like this. And guess what? He's thinking of something else. Thinking of something else. Mind is not there. When the mind is not there behind all this beautiful apparatus, still vision doesn't take place. Hey, what happened? What are you staring at? What? What means what? He's neither staring at anything. His mind is gone. He's taken off somewhere. So there is a lot involved in eyesight. And so he's saying, I'll tell you what. I tell you, this, we look at it this way. This consciousness that is there inside the body, okay, that is manifest. Consciousness is everywhere. But this manifest consciousness called Chidabhasa, it has a power to just go through the eyes, emanate from the body, emanate and then just go through the eyes and hit all the objects that are accessible to the eyes. That is the way we look at it. Okay? And drishehe, bahif pravrittasya. So bahif pravritti, that consciousness just emanates out, which is what Shankara says in his Dakshinamurti Stotram. Nana chidra ghatodara sthita mahadeepa prabhabhaswaram. He says, visualize your body like a pot with 5 holes. 5 holes, 5-holed pot. And what happens? There is a small lamp inside this pot, and the room is dark. Then you can see the closed pot, let's say closed pot closed with the lid. And then 5 holes are there, and 5 streams of light go out like this. You can see 5 spots on the wall. Like that, he's asking you to imagine. And that's what it is. That consciousness is able to go. That is why you're able to say, I see the tree. I see the tree. The conscious guy has to be there inside to say, I see the tree. And so consciousness has accessed the tree, as it were. Okay. So therefore, and then, okay, that is the case. Then what else is there? Panchendriya dvarakatvat. He's saying, hey, the 5 sense organs, Pancha Indriya, are merely exit gates of this consciousness. What are these 5 sense organs? He's defining them. Panchendriya Dwaraka means what? They are, these 5 sense organs are dwaras, doors, exit gates for this consciousness to go out. And when they are merely exit gates for the consciousness, consciousness itself cannot see consciousness. Now you are asking the Indriyas, which are merely exit gates, to actually see and find out what this consciousness is all about. Not possible, my dear friend. Not possible. They're merely Panchendriya Dvarakatvat. Bahif Pravrittasya. For this exiting consciousness, these are just doors. These are doors which open and close. And therefore, it's very obvious. Adrishyam should be everything else. So, Shabda, Adrishyam, Ashrotram, like this, everything can't be heard. Okay. And then, Granam. So, Granam, I don't know what word will come there. So, like that, it can't be smelled, it can't be tasted, nothing. What can be tasted? Aksharam Brahma.
Anagranam?
So that yak will have to come. So I don't know how it comes. We have to see.
Pravrittasya.
So Bahir Pravrittasya, of that consciousness Drishi, which is ready, waiting to go out. Bahir Pravrittasya. These sense organs are merely exit gates. They are exit gates, they are doors which open and close, and therefore you can't expect the doors to analyze this consciousness, access this consciousness. Not possible. Like that argument Shankaracharya is giving. Okay. And we saw something similar in Kathopanishad, which would be what?
Paranjikani.
Paranchikani Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu. Paranchikani. Kani means Indriyani. Paranchi Indriyani. Paranchi, they are just directed outwards. Why did he say that? Yamadharmaraja in that context? That is because Paranchikani Vetrinat Swayambhuhu Tasmat Paran Pashyati Nantaratma. That is why these sense organs, which are all directed outwards, they don't know what do you mean by directing inwards. Atma, Nantaratman, Antaratman Pash, Drashtum Na Shakyate. That is what he said there in Kathopanishad. So, that is what we can remind ourselves of here. Okay. Adrishyam. Adrishyam. See, look at the beauty of studying the Shastra, right? Is Hariji here?
Yes.
Hariji is there. Okay. Good. So, the reason I asked is there was a question. Hariji asked a question some days ago. He said, what will teachers feel if they do not teach the Bhaashyam? Something like that a question was asked. I'm rephrasing, obviously. Okay. The real question is what? What is the traditional method of teaching? That should be the real question. Okay. What teachers feel and all, we don't know. But what is the method of teaching means you can't take anything for granted. You will see more and more coming. And nothing is taken for granted. Things are looked at from different perspective, different points of view. Okay. And you think you know the answer, suddenly Shankaracharya comes up with a different answer. Oh, I didn't think about it. Like this. So you have Bhagavad Gita, and then to teach Bhagavad Gita, the teacher should know more than what the Bhagavad Gita says. Okay, only then the teacher can be an authority of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and what do you mean by knowing more? There is nothing more to know than Atma. What else is there to know? Paravidya is the final thing. Yeah, correct. That is all correct. But Shankaracharya's Bhaashyam is what unlocks the meaning of the words Krishna had said. Okay, people who teach Bhagavad Gita have knowingly or unknowingly, they have learnt all that from their teacher. Okay, and so that's why we say the teacher at least must know, have studied Shankara Bhaashyam, must study Shankara Bhaashyam. And to study Shankara Bhaashyam, what is needed? Correct? You can ask the question, if I need Shankara Bhaashyam to understand Bhagavad Gita, then to understand Shankara Bhaashyam, what is needed? Yeah, you need it. Tikas are needed. Sometimes you have to look at Tikas. Then to study Tika, what is needed? Tippani is needed. Tippanikara. We call it Tippanikara. Footnotes. All they do is write footnotes to elaborate something. Somewhere we have to put a full stop, correct? And so we put a full stop. We go through this and then we are satisfied. Yeah, this is what it means. This is what Krishna is saying. Like that, we have to come to a conclusion. That's the thoroughness that is there in the study of the Shastra. This is what is called tradition. Otherwise, there's no tradition. If all I have to do is translate these sentences, there's no tradition at all. It's not called tradition. Parampara means this. You sit and study, and then the parampara is established. Then there's a flow of pravaha is there. Jnana pravaha is there. Jnana pravaha. In Swamiji's village, Manjakudi, they have a center now. So, like if we have to conduct a camp, a retreat, we can even go there to Manjakudi. And that center is called Jnana Pravaha. That's how they have given the name. So, that flow of knowledge. So, that's what I am saying here. So that's why the study of Bhaashyam and all is very important. Very important. And we'll get more and more opportunities to appreciate that. All right. दृशेः बहिः प्रवृत्तस्य पंचेन्द्रियद्वारकत्वात्. Next. अग्राह्यम्
अग्राह्यं
कर्मेन्द्रिय
कर्मेन्द्रिय
अविषयम् इत्येतत्.
अविषयम् इत्येतत्.
Yeah. अगोत्रम्
अगोत्रम्
गोत्रम्
गोत्रम्
अन्वयः
अन्वयः
मूलम्
मूलम्
इति.
इति.
अनर्थान्तरम्
अनथान्तरम्
अगोत्रम्
अगोत्रम्
अनन्वयम् इत्यर्थः.
अनन्वयम् इथ इदर्थया
न हि
न हि
तस्य मूलम् अस्ति
तस्य मूल्यम् अस्ति
येन
येन
अन्वितं स्यात्.
अन्व
अन्वितं स्यात्.
अन्वितं स्यात्.
Yeah. So he's explaining now the second word, agrahyam. Agrahyam. Grahanam, grahyam. Grahanam. Grahanam means holding. Grahanam, holding. Covering. All these things are called grahanam. That's why the eclipse is also called grahanam. Grahanam means covered up. So sun covers the moon or the moon covers the sun, something like that. Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, etc. So, um, कर्मेन्द्रिय अभिषयम् इत्येतत्. Hey, come on. We have Jnanendriyani, Pancha, five sense organs, and then there are five Karmendriyani also. Karmendriyani Kani. Tattvaboda. What are the Karmendriyas? Oh, Vak, Pani, Padam, Payu, Pasthani, Karmendriyani. Those are the five Karmendriyas. Hey, Vak, the organ of speech, hands, legs, and then the organ of excretion and the genitals. These are the five Karmendriyani. Jnanendriyani are the channels through which I get data in. Data comes in. Karmendriyani, data goes out. I influence the world, universe through my Karmendriyani. All right. So therefore he is saying Karmendriya Avishayam. Vishayam means object of Karmendriyani. Accessible to the Karmendriyanis. Organs of action. Avishayam means not accessible. Not an object of Karmendriyani. Brahman cannot be. Literal meaning cannot be grasped by the hand. Grasped. But grasped by any of the organs of action. That's what he's saying. Ityetat. And so, then he's saying agotram. He's now explaining what gotram is. Gotram. Gotram anvayaha. Anvayaha. Anvaya means lineage. Anvaya means a line, a connection. In Sanskrit, we say Anvaya. We do Anvaya of the mantra at the end of the understanding the mantra. Anvaya means what? Reordering the words so there is a nice flow through which I can understand. Artha Spuranam happens. So that here is saying this lineage is called Gotram, lineage of our ancestors onwards. All the how did I come into being? That is called Anvaya or Gotram. Moolam iti. Moolam. Moolam means what is my root? What is my root? Which means we are all descendants of people only. Who is the our parampara has created this thing called Gotram. Hey, you are a Gotram of Gotram is this means Bharadvaja Rishi means I am a descendant of Bharadvaja Rishi. Like this, every human being on the face of earth has a Gotram. They may or may not know. That's it. That's the only difference. Gotram. Moolam iti. Anarthantaram. Arthantaram means, Arthantaram means another meaning. Another meaning is called Arthantaram. Anarthantaram means there is no other meaning. Shankaracharya is saying, don't look for some other meaning. You don't have to read tikas and all that to figure out other meanings. There is no other meaning. Like that, he's giving some. It says, don't. We should thank Shankara for saying this. Otherwise, all we crazy people will look up all these koshas and then find out meaning and all that. Don't do all that. He says. We are all Rishi Putraha, that's about it. And therefore, what? Why are you bringing all that here to Brahman? Hey, Brahman has no lineage. Brahman is not an effect. And you don't have to look for a cause. Who gave birth to Brahman? You don't have to say that. You don't have to say that at all. Okay? And there is no such Rishi for Brahma. Yeah, Agotram, and therefore Gotram is there. What about Brahma? Agotram, Ananvayam Ityartaha. There is no lineage. Brahman is not a product at all to even look for a lineage at all. Family tree, you cannot put Brahman in the family tree. You know, Genie, they have a website called GENI, Genie, and you can put you can see the network just going this way, that way. And then sometimes you have to scroll here and there and there. Finally, you say, okay, enough. I know my family. And so beautiful. They have a family tree system online. And he says, no, such a thing is not possible for Brahma. Swamiji says Parvati is so lucky. Abba. The Shiva has no father and mother. Mother-in-law not there. Abba. What what a life that must be. Like that Swamiji is saying. And just a joke, that's all. Don't worry. And so, nahi tasya moolam asti yena anvitam syat. There is no root, there is no source for Brahma. Brahma is the source for everything else, and therefore you don't look for a source for Brahma, and there is no moolam at all. And yena anvitam syat, from which you can trace the lineage for Brahma. Such a thing doesn't exist at all. That is why Brahman is called Agotram. Okay, let's read the next Bhaashyam. Varnyante iti. Varnyante iti.
I'm not able to. Varnyante iti
Varnaha.
varnaha
Dravyadharmaha.
dravyadharmaha
Sthulattvadayaha.
stulatvadayaha
Shuklatvadayo. Shuklatvadayaha va.
shuklatvadayavaha
Avidyamanaha.
avidyamanaha
Varnaha.
varnaha
Yasya tat.
yasya tat
Avarnam aksharam.
avarnam aksharam.
Yeah. So he's beginning to now explain what this avarnam means. All right, let's see what he says. Varnyante iti varnaha. That which describes something is called varnaha. Varnyante iti varnaha. If you have to describe an object, then whatever describes that object is called a varnaha. Literal meaning of varnaha in Sanskrit is color. Color. Red, blue, green, yellow, etc. That color is called varnaha. Literal meaning. But Shankara is stretching the meaning and say, no, color is fine. Color is an attribute that also helps you define objects, describe objects, but you can bring in all attributes. Like what? Stulatvadayaha, Shuklatvadayaha. A stula, gross, big, fat, small, uh, tall. All these words are there that describe all attributes of objects, of things. Okay. Okay. Big bang. Big bang. That means what you should ask, hey, was there a small bang? You can ask. Scientists may have an answer. I don't know the answer, but Big Bang, like that they say. So big, small, all these things. Stulatvadayaha. Stulatvadayaha means what? Stulatva means bigness or grossness. Gross, subtle, they are also adjectives. Okay. Okay. So all Stulatvadayaha. Shuklatvadayaha. Shuklatvadayaha. Shukla means white. So now color is bringing. Shuklatvadi. Whiteness, etc. He says. He doesn't say whiteness. It's all these attributes of colors can be brought in. They're all what? Dravya dharma. Dravya dharma. They're all dharma. Dharma here refers to quality, attribute, characteristic. Okay, characteristic. And easy, difficult. They're all characteristics. Dravya dharma. Dravya, materials, things, anything in this, anything you can talk about is called a dravyam. Suppose you say Shankara Bhaashyam is difficult. Okay, difficult. It's a dharma. What is the dravyam for the dharma? Shankara Bhaashyam is the dravyam. Sanskrit is the dravyam. But you say Sanskrit is beautiful. Okay, good. So that also is good. It's a beautiful. It's a dharma. Dravyam is Sanskrit bhasha. Okay, so dravya dharma. Attributes of things, substances like that. You can say dravya dharma. Now he is saying. Avidyamanaha varnaha yasya tat. Vidyamanaha varnaha yasya tat avarnam. So avarnam means what? I have described to you what varnam is. Avarnam is what? That which does not have varnam. Avidyamana means not existing. The one, yasya, the one for whom varnas don't exist. That is called not existing is called avidyamana. So the one for which does not have any attributes, in other words, any characteristics, okay, any qualities, it is called avarnam. And who is avarnam? Aksharam is avarnam. Like that he's saying. In other words, nirgunam. Gunam also is varnam only. So he's translating the way he's explaining varnam, it is gunam. Gunam also is characteristic, And so nirgunam. Varnam means nirgunam. Brahman has no gotra, and so nothing. You can't say Kshatriya association and all. Brahman can't be a member of. In here we have something called Swamiji tried Tamras means Tamil Brahmin Association. These days these associations are very important, because everybody is figuring out, oh my God, our lands are all gone, our language is gone, our children, we are not able to marry our children, everything is a big shock for everybody. So everybody is getting together now these days, getting together and saying, what do we do as a group of people? And so, he says Brahman cannot be a member of Tambras. Okay, why? Because Agotram, Avarnam, nothing, no characteristic. We can't put the Brahman in any organization, not possible. All right. Next. Achakshushrotram. Achakshushrotram.
Achakshotram.
Chakshuscha shrotram cha.
Chakshotram cha.
Yeah. Nama Rupa Vishaye.
Nama Rupa Vishaye.
Karane.
Karane.
Sarva Jantunam.
Sarva Jantunam.
Te avidyamane yasya.
Te avidyamane yasya.
Tad achakshushrotram.
Tad achakshotram.
So Shankaracharya is giving an explanation. As though Chakshu means eyes. Okay? Chakshu means eyes. We all know that. Shrotra means ears. Achakshu Shrotram, you already know what the meaning is. And Shankaracharya is explaining as though we need an explanation of what eyes are. He's explaining what eyes and ears are. Okay, look at this. He says, okay, first of all, he's breaking the compound. Chakshushrotram is one compound. In Sanskrit, there's a word called samasa. Samasa means compound. He's breaking the compound. He's saying chakshuscha shrotrancha chakshushrotram. Chakshushta shrotram means eyes and ears. He's separating the two. All right, that much is clear. Then what are these? They're all called Nama Rupa Vishaye. Nama Rupa Vishaye is what? Hey, what is the purpose of eyes? The purpose of eyes is to identify forms. Forms includes colors also. Forms. Rupa. Rupa. Nama it can't figure out. Eyes can't figure out the name of an object. But what do you need for the name of the object? Ears are needed to figure out the name of an object. First time, if you have to know the name, you have to have this ears. And so, for knowing name, you need Shrotram. For knowing Rupa, you need Chakshuhu. So, Nama Rupa Vishaye, Bahuvrihi Samasa. So, the Chakshu is that whose object is Rupa. Shrotram is that whose object is Nama, name, sound. Okay. And Karane, they are what? They are therefore called Karanas. They are Karana means instrument. They are all instruments for us. We call them instruments through which we transact. And so, Sarva Jantuna, for all beings, all living beings, Sarva Jantuna. Okay, all detailed explanation Shankaracharya is giving. And so that's why studying Bhaashyam is important. Why it's important? We become precise. Our thinking is all, we're all great thinkers, but it's all little loose. Few more questions people ask, we will just say, oh, I don't know. I don't know. We have to say, I don't know. Because that is the truth. At least we are truthful, right? I don't know is a truthful answer. Okay, that's good. That means you're giving some room. There is a window of opportunity. I must know it. And so, studying Shankara Bhaashyam will make our thought process fine. Even in our daily life, you will find that your interactions are all very measured and very objective. And you know what you know what you don't know, and therefore it becomes a joy for us. To living itself becomes joyful. And so, uh, having explained all this, all right, te avidyamane yasya tat achakshushrodram. So now he has to say what achakshushrodram is. Hey, same thing like before. Previously he said avidyamanaha varnaha yasya tat avarnam. Here he is saying avidyamane, because two things. Avidyamane is dual gender in Sanskrit. So two things are there, chakshu and shrotram. So therefore, avidyamane, not existing, that which does not have eyes and ears, that which does not have eyes and ears, is achakshushrodram. That aksharam is achakshushrodram. That is the way to understand this word, achakshushrodram. Let's read the next one. Yaha sarvajnaha.
Sorry, Jyotiji, your turn.
Yaha sarvajnaha
Nyaha
sarvavit
sarvavid
iti
iti
chetanavatva
chetanavatva
visheshanat
deshanat
praptam
praptam
samsarinam iva
samsarinam iva
chakshushrotradibihi
chakshushrotradibhihi
karanaihi
naihi
arthasadhakatvam
arthasadhakatvam
tadiha
iha
Achakshushrotam iti
Shotram iti
varyate
Varyate
pashyati
Shyati
achakshuhu
Chakshuhu
saha shrunoti
Shrunoti
akarnaha
Karnaha
ityadi darshanat.
Ityadi Darshanat.
Right. So having said this, aksharam is achakshushrotam, and the list is continuing. The Purva Pakshi is coming. He's unobjecting. He is having an objection. What is the objection? Already objection has come. The Mundaka has just started. Okay. But objection has come. What is the objection? Objection is, wait a minute. You're telling me Brahman has no eyes. Brahman cannot be objectified by eyes. Brahman is agrahyam, can't be grasped by the hands, etc. You're telling me. And not, can't be, does not have eyes, chakshuhu. Previously, what did he say? Adrishyam, not accessible by eyes, okay, which means cannot be perceived. Here he says achakshuhu, does not have eyes. Okay, two things are different, right? One is cannot be perceived by eyes, one is does not has eyes at all. That means what? In word, adrishyam is not an object. Achakshuhu means not the subject of seeing. Not object, not subject. I hope you're following that distinction. Not an object karma, not a subject karta, neither karta nor karma. Seems to remind us of something like najayate mriyate va kadachit, and then nahanyate hanyamane sharire. Nahanyate, it cannot, it cannot kill somebody. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. Okay, sorry. So it can't be killed and it will not kill also. So neither it is karta nor it is karma. Karma means object in this case. All right, that is there. But the Purva Pakshi is now asking, you're giving all these qualifications. What qualifications can be given for something I don't even know what Brahman is? Suppose I introduce a friend to you, he's a friend, and so he's a friend, etc. You say, he is looking for a job. Who is looking for a job? My friend is looking for a job. And the qualifications, he has these kinds of qualifications, etc. Makes sense. You introduce me to your friend, and the friend has these qualifications, I guess. But you're talking about something which I don't know, and then you're telling all these things. It doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. How is that acceptable? How is that acceptable? You have not even introduced what Brahman is. There is no, we don't know what it is. You're telling what it does not have. Brahman's pockets are empty, if you say. Who is Brahman? You tell me first. Then you can tell me his pockets are empty. I can understand. Okay, and so that is the that is the objection here. And he's saying, hey, look, Shankara is explaining. The Purva Pakshi is not stated, but we have to. Okay, the Purva Pakshi is implied here because now Shankara is quoting. He's quoting something. He's saying, yeah, okay, I understand your concern, but wait, just be patient. There is something called patience. And Upanishad is starting to talk, and shortly in mantra number 9, okay, and it's going to come. What is going to come? Yes, sarvajnaha sarvavid. Like that, that mantra is going to come. I don't know which page number yours is. In Gita Press, it is 7, 8, 9, which is page 26. It's going to come. Okay. Page 20. Your page is also page 26, I think. This happens to be a coincidence. Page 26. Correct? Yeah. So your page 26 also, it says, Yes sarvajnaha sarvavid yasya jnanamayam tapaha. Like that it's going to come. Where this Brahman is going to be mentioned as sarvajnaha, means all consciousness. Okay, embodiment of sentience, and sarvavid, omniscient, knowledgeable of everything. The words we use for Bhagavan are going to be used for Brahman. Okay, it's going to come up shortly. And so, iti chetanavatva visheshanat. Like that, Brahman is going to be described as something that is sentient, conscious, in fact, consciousness, and also all knowledge, sarvavit, omniscient, it's going to come up. Okay, and samsarinam iva chakchuhu srotradibihi karanaihi artha sadakam praptam. Praptam is a verb there. Praptam samsaram. When somebody says knowledgeable, immediately you will think of a human being, you will think of an animal who can gain some knowledge, and that knowledge will come through sense organs only. Without sense organs, there is no knowledge gaining possible. It cannot be gained without sense organs. Okay, and therefore, because this mantra is going to come that says Sarvavid and Sarvajnaha, then at that point you will ask, what is all? Then where are the sense organs? And so this mantra goes along with that mantra. They're all going together. And samsarinam chakshushrotradibhi karanaihi artha sadakam. The people gain knowledge, artha, through the sense organs only. Shrotradibihi karanaihi. Instruments like ears and eyes, shrotradibihi, chakshushrotradibhi. Samsarina. He could have said Manushyanam also, he could have said, of people, human beings. He is referring to us as samsaris. Okay, and so samsarina. Samsari, because if my only maybe is indicating aparavidya, paravidya, and so samsarinamiva. For human beings, this is what our common understanding is. Any knowledgeable entity has to have sense organs, mind, etc. And therefore, because you are going to conclude like that, tad iha achakshu shrotram iti varyate. That idea is negated, varyate, is countered, negated. Which idea is countered? The idea that a knowledgeable sentient being should have eyes and ears, that idea is countered, opposed, negated. Varyate, vrudhat, Sanskrit student. Varnaha also is from the same vrudhat. Varnaha, color, color covers, Red color, if you say, means that whole object is covered by this attribute of red. And so, covering, covering. Negating also. So here also varyate is negated. By the word achakshushotram. Therefore, it's not irrelevant. It is not out of place. It is needed for us to know. Just be a little patient. You will come to that mantra in a few more pages. Not only that, pashyati, achakshuhu, saha, shrunoti, akarnaha, ityadi darshanat. Darshanat, ityadi. We also see many mantras in the Upanishads. Okay, like this mantra, like in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Hope the mantra number is given in your page 3.19. So if you look at that Upanishad, there he says, Pashyati achakshuhu. This Brahman, Pashyati. Brahman sees. Brahman sees how? Being achakshuhu, without eyes, Brahman sees. Like that, these mantras are there all over. Okay. And Shrunoti akarnaha. Brahman is capable of listening. Even though akarnaha doesn't have any sense of hearing at all. Sense organ is missing. But still, Shrunoti. Shrunoti means hears. Ityadi darshanat. And so, and that's what Shankaracharya says in his Drik Drishya Viveka. First mantra. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik Tadrishyam Driktu Manasam Drishyadhi Vrittaya Sakshi Drigeva Natu Drishyate. Beautiful. Rupam Drishyam. Rupam means here is a form, object right in front of me. Rupam is Drishyam. It's an object that is seen. Then who is the seer of this seen object? Lochanam Drik. Lochanam, eyes is the seer of this object. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik. Lochanam is eyes. Chakshu. Drik means seer. Drik is the seer. I mean, eyes are the seer, and the object is the seen. Tadrishyam. Then Driktu Manasam. Then what? Wait a minute. But don't stop right there. This eyes also is the seen object. Then who is the seer of this seen object called eyes? Hey, Manasam, Driktu Manasam. Mind is the seer of the eyes itself. Then wait a minute. Can I stretch it a little bit? Yes. Drishyadhi Vrittayas Sakshi. Yeah, mind is there, but mind is full of thoughts. But you are the guy who says that I have a lot of thoughts in my mind. Means you are seeing the mind. There is somebody behind the mind. Therefore, the mind which you said was the drik, the seer of the eyes, is not a drik anymore. It is drishyaha dhivrittayaha. It is also seen, 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 objectified. The subject has become the object. Then who is the seer of this mind? Drishyadhi vrittaya sakshi. Sakshi. There is something called sakshi. Consciousness is called sakshi. Atma is called sakshi. Sakshi is aware of all the thoughts of the mind. Dirgeva natu drishyate. Is there anybody else behind the sakshi? Is there a seer of the sakshi also? No. Dirgeva. Dirgeva is a seer only. Natu drishyate, cannot be seen. Natu drishyate, adreshyam, agrahyam, avarnam, achakshushotram. All that. So, that's how we can correct these mantras. Ityadi darshana. Okay, good. That's a good place for us to stop. And he will continue to explain Tadapani Padam Nityam Vibhum. Om Apadamapahataram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobharahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaः Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः
जयकुमार
धन्यवादः गुरुजी
ధన్యవాదాలు మహోదయ.
ధన్యవాదాలు